We just said that if we want to make a general statement about what the output based on a general input for this function we're talking about here would be, if the input was x, then the output would have to be x plus 2, since the function of our function is to increase all input values by 2. So to illustrate this point a little bit differently, we're going to do some very, very basic computer programming. Now don't worry if you've never done anything like this before. This is just to illustrate how simple functions work. You'll never be tested on this or anything. This is just for you to explore and have fun, and maybe even understand things a little bit better. Now what we're going to do is use one particular programming language called Python to create the same increase by 2 function that we just did. Now remember that we said in a general case of wanting to increase by 2, we take an input of x and then have our output be x plus 2. So the same thing is happening up here in these 2 lines of code. The letters D, E, F stand for define, and they're saying that we're going to define or create a function which is named increase by 2, and that function is going to take in some input, this letter x in this case as the general case, and then that function is going to do some stuff and then spit out this output, x plus 2. So these 2 lines of code are basically creating the machine that this function is, the machine that transforms whatever input value it gets into some output value. Now please notice here that we do have parentheses here around the input value. This has absolutely nothing to do with multiplication. These parentheses just indicate this is what we're calling the input. Let's try it out. Let's see if this function works. Now let's say that I wanted to use an input of 7, or plug in 7 in place of x in my increase by 2 function. What number do you think this program is going to spit out in the end? Now again, you don't need to know anything about how programs actually work. All you need to do is think about the relationship between the input here and the output here, and see then what the output would be if 7 is the input. Please put your answer in this box over here.